I will switch us over. Yeah, you press that space bar. Good job. Hold on here, right? Okay. I'm gonna switch us over to the next scene, Bruno, and then
Okay,
we are good to go. Um, I believe we are switched over.
perfect.
Everything's in the green. Um, let me just double check. Yeah, we are. Okay.
All
Ladies
right.
and gentlemen, kings and queens, welcome back to another Emperor podcast.
Exactly. And I love it because tonight is all about family and being a parent and being a mother and a father. And what better way of doing this than by having our little intro with your family, Casey? I don't think my 21 and 19 and 17-year-old would appreciate being on camera, but that's what it's all about tonight. So, just before we start, I just wanted to, for the people watching us that are not playing the game, you're more than welcome to go to our Facebook page. It's Emperor, and leave a comment. We have a messenger group that has over 100 message a day. You would be able to see exactly what's going on and be involved in different ways. Don't be shy. We love talking to new people. We have people over the world in Belgium, in South Korea, Mozambique. We have Belgium, England, Sweden, and Russia. So do not feel like if you're not in North America that you can't join us and talk to us. So, um, that being said, Diego just posted the new video. I encourage you to go and see that. It's pretty awesome. I love again the commercials. I love the way it sounds. I love the way they go. They're funny, and he's doing such an amazing job. And to be honest, he's doubting himself a bit. So if you have a chance in the chat to just tell him how great he's doing, I think a
He
bit of
just wants the
encouragement.
compliments, I think, because
I
those
think
things are great.
just
He just wants
yeah,
a bit of shine.
exactly. He just wants
Let's be
the
honest.
attention. I could see that. But yeah, and for those who never saw him, watch the last podcast number 3. We had Derek the Pope, Pope in game that is, and Diego was there, so you can see that on the video he looks very much the same. So, all that being said, I think we're going to introduce our panel here. I
I think
think
we should.
I had the privilege, I have still the privilege to do turns to a lot of women playing the game. And I asked for comments they would like me to share, and it's going to lead us a bit in the conversation. The first thing they said is playing, a board game. The board game world, if you want, is primarily dominated by men, and to have women have so many of them playing our game is awesome. Um, Also being a parent, I was speaking about this earlier on. I have the privilege to see a lot of babies. Danielle A just had a child, and Sarah has a newborn also. So when I do turns, I see them, and I see them growing every week, which is pretty awesome. So we understand that parents, with your schedule, your family, your job and everything, how busy it is. But tonight I wanted to make it special, and kind of bring some mothers in, and see how their emperor world matches with everything else in their lives. So all that to say, I will welcome Sarah and Michelle to the podcast. Welcome, ladies. Thank you uh for wanted. I had just a little message. Krista wanted to join us. She, because of her work, is traveling around the world and is in mid travel, so couldn't join us. But I promised I would mention her tonight. So Krista, this is for you, and we will find a way to bring you to this podcast. I can promise you. So, ladies, welcome. Um, Hopefully you're comfortable, not too nervous. I know the first few times. I know Casey will have to leave us at one point for a bit. Um, we were talking about parent stuff. Oh, okay, perfect, perfect, not a problem. And okay, perfect. And just before we go, in honor of Kayla, I'm drinking bubble, bubbly. So anyway, if anyone knows anyone working in that company, sponsorship would be awesome. So that being said, ladies, um, first question I have for you, and Sarah, I know the answer, but not everybody does. Um, I would like to know how you found out about Emperor.
Uh, Thanks for the intro, Bruno. So I found out the game through Bruno because I worked with Bruno. I was telling him about all the board games that my husband Austin and I play, like Terraforming Mars, Scythe, where there's like a lot of elements when you play. And Bruno's like, maybe you would like Emperor. And so we invited Austin also. So we both started at the same time and haven't looked back.
And how many years was that, Sarah? That's your third
This
year?
third year playing, yeah.
Third year playing. All right. Michelle, how did you find out about our wonderful game? We can't hear you. I think you might be muted. No, we can't. By the
What
way, we
happened?
test this thing. We test those things out. Oh, there you go. We can hear
There
you
we
now.
Okay.
Now we can't see you, but we can hear you.
Yeah, I don't.
We'll get you. We got okay. Now we see.
Okay. It's
We
okay,
see
guys.
you
The
and
tech
hear you.
experts on the.
That's a good point. So go ahead, Michelle. How did you find out about the game?
So I used to be part of a bunch of group chats for D&D, like D&D help. And in one of the chats, Bruno just kind of posted was, "Hey, does anybody interested in this game?" And I was like, "Well, that kind of sounds like Civ and RPG mixed." And I was like, "That sounds so cool." So I did reply to him, and I was like, "Can you tell me more?" So he kind of started telling me about it, and the more he told me about it, the more I was like, "You had me at high."
That's pretty cool. And Michelle, this is your second or third year?
Second.
Second year. All right. Perfect. Um, and how do you find the game? Like, what do you think is maybe something you really like about the game and something that you may not feel that you're mastering right now?
Um, Me personally, I love all of it. I love the complexity of it. And it really is to me. It's like playing Civ, but a little bit more immersive version of it. And I just I really love it. I like how different how different one nation is from another. Because I played a different nation than I did last year, and you did such a wonderful job in building this and like I guess researching the different cultures and everything that I could see. Like, I mean, everybody knows I was the Vikings this year. And everybody knows that Vikings are all about pillaging and whatnot, and you could see that in the way that the Vikings were built, that that they are a little bit more aggressive, which right now my comfort zone isn't being aggressive, so that's why it didn't work out for me this year. But
Yeah. Okay.
but
And
I love that detail.
And also, I don't want to take all the credit here. We have a team, Renault and Nicholas and Diego, and we do seek help from university. We were lucky to have London, Stockholm. We have the University of Ottawa, where I'm from, which is not too far from where I live. We have the Canadian Farming Museum that helped us with different components. So it's nice to hear it. There was effort, but I just wanted to say that it's a team thing. It's not just Bruno.
Okay, well,
But
you guys have
I
done fantastic.
I'm glad also you saw the difference because prior to that you were Hungary, right?
Um,
Last year you
yeah,
were Hungary.
yeah, it was. I think it was Hungary. Yeah, I keep
Yes,
wanting to call
and
him
you got
Byzantine, but yeah, I think it was Hungary.
Hungary and you got
Yeah.
backstabbed by the Pope.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
the
what I get
famous
for trying to
Pope.
be a good Catholic.
Yeah. I love it. So so Sarah. What about you?
So I'm gonna take it in a whole different way. I actually like that I know a lot of the players. So later on in the game, when people are announced as kings and queens, you kind of know who's where, and you talk to them all the time. Like, especially for us, it's people that we work with. We see them every so often. So talking to them, like, oh, I can't believe you pulled off that move at that week. And yeah, so for me, that's the coolest part.
All right. And last year, the past 2 years, what did you play, Sarah?
The past 2 years, I was in Africa. And this year, I decided to go somewhere else. I'm not going to say where I am,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
Don't, please don't.
definitely it's
You played two
definitely
years in Africa?
different. Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
were
I
in,
changed.
you
I
were
was
Fatimi Khalifa? No.
no, that was Pierre Olivier.
Yeah,
Um,
that you backstab, by the way. Just saying,
never
let's do an
responded.
alliance,
Oh,
and let's talk, but I'm gonna backstab you in the back. I love that.
I said, hey, do you want to re-sign the treaty? No one said anything. So then the following week, I'm like, all right, gloves are off. Yeah.
So, so where I think you were in the Mid East more than Africa. Were you not the Arabian tribes? I
Yeah.
can't remember. In
Yeah.
the
I was
first
Arabian
year
tribes the first year. And then second year, I'm not too sure.
in that area, you stayed
Yeah.
close. And who killed
Hmm.
you? Was it the Pope?
No, 1 year was Francis. The first year, because it was him and Julie who teamed up.
Yeah, yeah,
So
the
Norway and
pagan.
Iceland.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the second year, I don't know. I just knew that I beat my husband. Like I died after him, and I was like, that's the most important.
And that's another complexity, right? And I would love to hear about that, Sarah. You play and your husband play. So
Yeah.
is there a lot of talk about it in the house,
Oh my
or
gosh. There's no talk of where we are, but it's all psychological warfare. So so we just got a new computer, and the day of my turn, he changed the password but didn't tell me what the password was. Yeah, so that's strike
I
one.
love it. Yeah.
And then week one, after I did my turn, I texted him. I was like, "Oh yeah, I did my turn. Did Bruno call you yet?" He's like, "No. Why would Bruno call me?" I was like, "Oh, he might be dead. I don't know." Yeah, so
Famous
I do
dog.
that after every turn for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then today I go to do my turn. The keyboard doesn't work, and he's the last person to use it yesterday. So
I'm
just
telling you.
psychological warfare
Yeah.
every day. I live in this environment, and I'm thriving, Bruno. I'm thriving.
Yeah. So, ladies, what would be the biggest difference you've seen since you started? For you, Michelle, it's easy. It's year one and year two. But for Sarah, since the beginning, what
Yeah.
what difference did you feel the game evolved? And if so, what changed? What made that happen for you?
Is it okay if I go first, Michelle?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's disease. Disease is huge this year. Where last year, the last few years, it was manageable, but this time it just seems like it's gonna break you. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. And you, Michelle?
Um, I it actually was a bit of an eye opener for me, because I have the better grasp of it this year than I did last year. But at the same time, seeing how being a different culture in a different location, because like we said, I was in Hungary, which is a little bit more incontinent versus Norway, which is right there on the coast. My civics were a lot different, and it was a lot harder for me to get my civics taken care of in Norway than it was in Hungary. And so just the kind of realization that, hey, where you are and the culture you are does change the aspect of how the game is played. It was an eye opener, and I'm definitely glad I picked a completely different area to play this year versus staying in the
So,
same area as last year.
so what do you think about mountains? Because Norway is full of mountains, right? It's a bit of different type of play, except of the open field of Hungary type of thing.
Yes, that was a bit of a challenge because I was trying to play it like I did in Hungary, um and Diego was like, you don't have anywhere to make fields. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you've got a mountain right here, you've got a river right here. And I was like, cool, I'm stuck between a rock and a wet place. So let's move.
Yeah.
And I was
And
working on moving, and that's when I got assassinated. He's like, you forgot to send scouts out. And I was like, dang it, I did.
yeah. And that's the complicity of the game we were talking about, right? Where there's so many layers and
Hmm.
so many action points, right? You're trying to
Right.
prioritize. Did you feel there's a big change in culture too, Sarah? Because you're from the Middle East, Africa, a lot of desert there, to your new place, which maybe doesn't have as much. So do you see a difference in culture?
Yeah, absolutely. Even the surrounding me, thank you, surrounding me, like it's crazy. Yeah.
Okay, good, good. So to talk about that disease, Sarah. So I just want to be clear that we changed it a bit. What we realized this year is player didn't take civic rates as seriously as past years. So that might be a trigger to why a lot of disease is going on. Is that players don't seem, and it's funny because Diego main publicity was always about civic rates. So
Mhm.
it's funny to see how players take it. So now that we spoke a bit about the game, we did introductions and stuff. I want to talk about what the introduction was all about. Is do you feel um, like I know parents, and we were talking about children earlier. It's busy, it's busy having work, having kids, having family, and so on and so forth. For Emperor, do you feel that it's adding to that chaos, or it's a time maybe that you have a bit more for yourself to reflect on what you want to do?
So for me, it did give me a little bit more, I guess, me time because it was okay. This one time, once a week, I can dedicate to just doing something for me, and doing something I enjoy. And then I kind of grew on it and did like a little blog for it, so that way I could kind of make it kind of stretch it out a little bit. And so that helped me. It gave, like I said, it gave me like a little moment during the week where I could be like, okay, this is something that is not work, not family, not anything. It's just something that I'm interested in that I can sit down and focus on just for a little bit of time.
That's good. And you, Sarah?
For me, like Michelle said, it's me time. So my turn is during the day, which is great for me. I'm on mat leave with my 5 month old. But that being said, he's 5 months and every day kind of changes. So our time was a specific time because that was his nap time. Now he doesn't nap during that time. So even today I was like, oh, 1 second. And I had to go get him downstairs and just, yeah. And then he was on video with you and I just doing our
Yeah,
turn.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's with Daniel too, a new father, his firstborn. So
Mhm.
I can see like he was doing turns and he decided that, he was going for it and poop. And, then Daniel was like, I need to go change him. Can I call you back in 5 minutes? And that's the reality of things, right?
Mhm.
Which I appreciate very much. It keeps the game very much geared towards us humans and people, and
Yeah.
not geared towards just putting number down and making math and things
Mhm.
happen type of thing. So um that being said, I mean, do you find any time at all during your daytime or evening? When would, because I know players plan, and I know I destroy those plans because each time, I do turns, I start speaking, see sheet going, or say, oh, that's out the window type of thing, which is okay. But do you find that you take time to plan off turns ahead of time?
I think it depends on the week. Oh, sorry, Michelle, go ahead.
Oh, no, 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 you're good. You're good.
I think it depends on the week. Like sometimes it's the day before. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do this. Sometimes I'm up late at night just with Thomas feeding him. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this next turn. But my husband, he takes like the whole weekend and then counts everything. Like we have a calculator. We have everything on the desk. But yeah, so just it depends what type of player you are.
Yeah, yeah, fairly. Yeah, and you, Michelle?
So I do mine. I try to go into the turn with an idea, and like you said, it's most of the time not how the turn goes. But I make notes as I'm for my blog, and then as I'm writing the blog, I'm kind of like, okay, well, this is what I'm gonna try to do next turn, and try to go from there. So it's mostly when I'm doing the time that I set aside for Emperor, is when I attempt to plan, or at least go, this is where I want to go with this.
Okay, which is fair. I mean, everybody has their way of doing things, and I know everybody's busy too. Um, Maybe because you just started like 3 years and 2 years ago, and people will say 3 years you've been playing. It's been a long time. It's not that big. But if you were to give some advice to a new player or somebody that's watching this podcast and wants to play, what would it be? Michelle, maybe you first this time.
um, don't trust the Pope. Um, be sure to ask questions. Because had I asked questions for like when I did hire bodyguards this year, Bruce.
Oh,
Um,
there you go.
Bruno. There we go.
You can call me Bruce. It's okay. We've defined that Bruce and Bruno is very much names that would fit me. So go ahead with Bruce. I've been called worse. I've been called worse. No problem.
But yeah, I did hire bodyguards this year, and poor Diego was trying to give me help with it, and I just was not it wasn't clicking. And had I asked questions like, "Hey, I want to hire 100. What will that give me?" And then he would have been like, "Oh, that'll give you 10%," and I'm like, "Wait, 10%? No, we need more than that." I would have gone like up to 50% if I could afford it or whatever. I would have gone significantly higher than that. So biggest thing is make sure to ask questions and don't trust the Pope.
Yeah, the famous Pope, right? And you, and he was on last week, and he himself, Derek, told never to trust him. He was very. It's all in the background, and it's all in the shadows. He's
Mhm.
doing a terrific job. So you, Sarah, what about you? What would you tell a first year player?
I'd say that if you're monitoring the Facebook group chat where it has all of and the page where it has like all the Emperor Flash news of what's going on, it's very overwhelming because there's a lot of players. So just try and keep an eye what's close to you, but still have a general idea. So like right now in the Mid East, it's a disease rising. So if you're not in the Mid East, like just to kind of have it in the back of your mind, but you don't have to. Or like Aleppo is going crazy right now. So just
Yeah,
trying to
did you
keep.
hear that news? That
Yeah.
was huge. Like killing the king of Constantinople right off the bat. Four walls, boom, done. So
Yeah.
anyway, yes. but
So
you're right.
just yeah, so it's overwhelming. There's so much news all the time, so just trying to keep an eye on what's kind of around you. Yeah.
And what was your first thought of the manual? I know it's a beast. I know it's huge. So what would you tell players for the book itself?
It's overwhelming and it's okay. um, to to follow along in the YouTube video that you always do every year with your character sheet and just going along and then reviewing like little questions that you have at a time. Don't try and kill the manual right off the bat. There's so many components. So it's just yeah.
I hear that some players even read the book like 7, 8 times a week, which is Martin was
Whoa.
saying that he read it 5 times, I think, in a week or something like that.
Oh my
This
god.
awesome for me. I mean, but it's
Yeah,
intense, you know.
absolutely.
And you, Michelle, do you find that you go back to a section in particular, or do you navigate the book itself, like in a general thing, or is there a specific section you feel yourself that you're checking more than others?
For me, it's more of a if I don't understand the way something goes, then I'll go and search it. I'm more of a hands-on. So, I mean, my last year, I think I read all the way up until war, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna get war for a while. I'll come back to this section," because by then I was like, "I'm so overwhelmed with information right now." But that's just kind of how I've done it since then. Is I try to learn during the turn and understand what's going on, and if I don't understand, then I try to go back and read that section on it. And then if I still don't understand, then I go and ask either you or Diego more questions.
Okay. And what would be one thing that you've learned this year that you didn't know from the past? Is there one thing that you've learned this year so far?
The more for me, it's more on the bodyguards. So when I hear the term
Hmm.
bodyguards, I'm thinking of the little people that walk around with you that like, put a little circle around you and move with
Yeah.
you. And I
Yep.
like the way Diego explained it, that it's think of it as not a bodyguards, but like the castle guards, the people that are here um
That's a good way of saying it.
protecting the castle. And
Yep.
and again, he was trying to help me with it, and I was like, "Well, I'm not in a castle yet, so I don't need like thousands of them." And he's like, "Don't think of it realistically." I was like, "You don't understand my brain." But yeah, definitely learning more about the bodyguards and understanding the role that they play, like how to think of them like as the castle guards, and that 100 only gives you 10%. So that kind of helped me understand. Okay, this is like I knew they helped with assassins, but this is how they help with assassins.
Cool. And you, Sarah?
For me, it's the scout grid that we've talked about so many times in the chat on how like when you send them out, the explorers to go out, not the scouts, the explorers,
Yeah.
just like the way that they go out, like on your map when you get the update, it's like what? I was going west, but I only see, and it's like yeah, next turn.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. So they have speed to it. There's a madness to it. I get
Mhm.
it. And some people have become, I think, more expert into explorers than I am. And shout out to Bob, which follows a grid. And I have the system. I think he should be in charge of doing grids for explorers because the man is on top of things. So shout out to Bob that's doing really, really well for that. So um, concerning Assassin, I just feel because we're in the talk. I can certainly put a little special news out, a little freebie out there. So Assassin will still again be modified next year, and modified not in the way you think. We're keeping the you die or survive aspect to it, but your health and your immune system will define if you die completely or just lose AP. Not only that, we will add new skills into the diplomatic skills that will be called, now I forgot the name, um, but skills that will define that you could leave other information when you kill someone to kind of make it seem like it wasn't you. So thanks to a player that has started to doing that this year, we have to modify our rule. Another thing that we'll be looking at is assassination of AI. So being able to kill another king that is not controlled by a player. So we're looking at all of that, and we usually do that in the springtime. Our worksheet went from 2 lines to about half a page right now. So we'll be looking at a bunch of things like a player brought in mountains, and I say this because Michel experienced that. In forests you can have lumber mills. While why not have stone quarry into the mountain area? So at that point, you have kind of that economy type of driven economy in mountains. So we're looking at that too. So there's marrying your daughters and sons. We're looking into that too. So stay tuned because right now you should have kids. If you don't have kids, you're in, I would say you're in a bit of trouble. Um, that being said, keep an eye on your kid because he's your next generation. It doesn't show right now, but in 10 weeks, when you're about to die, you'll want somebody to take over. And it usually happen when you make the top 5. So you want to be on top of it now in case that happens to you. Um, eh, Casey, you were gone. Did we have any message or comments in our?
Yeah, there was actually like I was reading the conversation while I was kind of putting my kids down. It's a couple comments, mostly just like relating to I think what you were chatting about. So I was listening. Some people reacting to. I'm shocked people don't focus on the rates. And then number one is bodyguard, and number two is civic rates, which is just basically a nod to what you guys were
Which
chatting
is the
about.
conversation. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
We
yeah.
have the bodyguard specialist and the civic rate specialist right here with us. So
That's
we've
perfect.
defined that. So
And then yeah, that's mainly it. It's like someone's just commenting assassin of the AI will be a great addition to the game. Um, but yeah, no questions. If anybody does have questions, don't be shy. By all means, jump in, put them out there. We're always happy to kind of hear them. But yeah,
all right. So
I like the calling card idea of like after you kill or assassinate somebody that you can leave something to mislead somebody or potentially let them know who it was that did it. I think that's really
so
mischievous
we're
or something. But
yeah, exactly. I'm what because of your conversation, Michelle, I'm intrigued now. Viking's not for you, is what I heard. In Hungary, you had, I think, a good experience. What other part of the world would you be interested in exploring for next game? Mm.
So that's kind of that's where I'm a little on the fence about. I did like Vikings. I did the
Oh,
week that
okay.
I got killed. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna be aggressive because I had in my opinion, a decent sized army. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be aggressive. Send horse scouts in all directions. And he was like, okay. And I think we ended up just sending like 2 or 3 out because I could tell where the border was. But I was like, you know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna start being aggressive. And I started getting into it. And I actually told Diego that my plan was when I went to attack somebody, I wanted him to play Peyton Parrish's Ragnarok, um,
I like it. I
which is
like it.
basically like a Viking war march song, and it's one of my favorite songs. And I was gonna have him play that when he called them to tell them I was attacking. Um, so I'm contemplating either going to an area where there's not a lot of players, so that way I can try to get a little bit more familiar with it, or kind of keep on theme and pick cultures that I'm interested in. Like one of them is trying to go either with Egypt or I can't think of it. It's the culture where Cleopatra's from. I know it starts with an M. I just can't think of the name of
Yeah,
it, but
Macedonian. I think
yeah, there
she
we
was
go.
Macedonian Greek. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
okay.
go somewhere like that, or maybe try the Vikings again and try being a little bit more aggressive and get out of my comfort zone, because I believe you can't grow if you don't get out of your comfort zone.
For sure. And Diego and I want to try. I don't know if we will have time, but we would like to put in every nation kind of a little flag that tells you, is that nation hard to play? Is it easy? Is it difficult? You know, because you play in Iceland and Norway is a hard nation to start in.
Yeah,
So
that
is
was a big
Iceland.
difference.
Yeah, exactly. But if you choose North Asia, it's a bit more easier. You know, Ireland, people think it's easy to play there. It's not that easy to do. Isles, people love them, but they're hard to play. They're really, really, it's a different type of style, again, different culture to play. So, yeah, we'll try to put that if possible,
Yeah.
especially if we expand to North America and finish kind of, Oceania. Did I say that right?
Yep,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good.
the French guy did well there. Um, but yes, so that's another thing we would like to do for sure.
Yeah,
And you, well,
oh,
go ahead, Michelle.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I remember my first year because I too wanted to go for the Isles because that's one of my favorite cultures. And you were like, well, there's already somebody there, and that's not the easiest for first players. Why don't you come over here to Hungary? And I was like, I mean, Hungary's kind of cool. Yeah, I can do that. And I'm glad you talked me into it. But that was one of the things you told me was, hey, that's not an easy place to start.
But look at this here. It's another example. Like Ireland, the few that went there, then the alliance with Orkney against England, and then you have Super Anu that sends an assassin, it seems, every week to Japan just to make sure he stays on top of bodyguards. It's a different game. So the only one that seems to be thriving, and I hope he dies because he's a good friend of mine, but Francis in Iceland. If anyone kills him, I'm gonna pay you a club sandwich poutine.
Oh
And for
my.
people that know me, that's how I pay debt to people. So I mean, don't be afraid to kill him. Uh, he deserves it. He's been doing way too good the past 2 years. So just saying, putting that out there. But islands are different. And I'm very interested in what's your take on South America. A bit of turmoil, but we didn't really hear anything coming from South America. And you can jump in too, Casey. So, do you think it's going to be later on? Do you think there's going to be drama in South America, or do you think it's going to stay quiet?
I think there's gonna be turmoil, and I think it's probably coming sooner rather than later because I think they kind of got spread out just enough to where they could grow, and they're all gonna find out they're all the same size, and right when they're clashing, and it's gonna be interesting.
It's that
It
boiling
will be
point.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I think
What
that'll be
about you,
awesome.
Sarah? You keep muting yourself. You can leave you unmuted. It's okay
Well,
if you
I
have.
like the dogs were barking because Austin
We're
came home. I just
today is all about family, right? We
Yeah,
we
this
make it
the
clear. So,
beginning was an example of that. It's definitely
yeah,
definitely the case.
exactly.
Like,
So it's
oh
all
my
good.
gosh.
Um, so what do you think about South America? Is that a land you would be looking to play at one point?
yeah,
Yeah.
for
I would.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Aztecs.
Oh, okay. And what about you, Casey?
Yeah, yeah,
South
yeah. I'm
America
interested in
talks to
that.
you? Okay.
I haven't been revealed yet on the map yet, so I'm trying not to kind of divulge too much information. But
Yeah, yeah,
I want to try another area next. Like I keep wanting to try different
yeah.
different
You
spots.
you try different stuff. Yes.
I have different
I just
ideas.
received this year from our cultural here center for First Nation a map of all the nations for North America. So we'll be working on that,
Oh,
and
cool.
it's awesome. There's a lot more than I thought it was. So we'll have to be strategic. I thought I would have like a maybe 10, and there was about 26 on the map. So we'll have to be
Nice.
creative on how we just divide that. But that was really nice to see.
Yeah, that's very
So
cool.
are they like the Native American cultures?
Yes, exactly. So
Oh, I might
so
have to be
not
American
to
next year.
speak about myself, but I am my father is second generation. I'm a third generation. So uh, so we belong to our region, obviously, and it's not on the map because we were a small tribe within a bigger nation, if you want. um, I know the Algonquins were big in the Ottawa region too, so at that point, we have that. I could actually, I don't know if I have it, could pull it quickly and give you a few example. So yeah. So you see, the Cherokee we know of, the
Mm-hmm.
Cheyenne, the Sioux, those are big. But in our area, Hurons, Iroquois. I don't know how to say that in English. I'll have to get that
No, that's
I
translated.
think
that's
that was
But
it.
that's the right way. The
uh,
Iroquois.
Yeah.
that's the right way. The
Yep.
Iroquois.
Yep.
There you go. But there's a tribe called the Fox tribe. That's
Mm-hmm.
pretty kick-ass. I was very excited about that one. And there's one that's Wampanoag. I probably
Yeah.
butchered that. I do apologize, but they go all the way to the subarctic areas with the CP type of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be interesting to see how far north I'm going to go. But we have a lot of great information, so I was very, very excited to get that.
Lots of ability to expand, which is very cool,
Exactly.
and keep it culturally and historically accurate, which is the best part.
Oh, and Bob just corrected me. CU is called Sue. Is that what he said?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I
Sue?
wasn't sure if it was a separate one, but yeah, it's Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there
Can
you
you hear
go.
me, guys?
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
My
Sue.
camera went
Okay.
dark for a moment, but yeah.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, when I was in sixth or seventh grade, we learned about all the Native Americans, and being here in South Carolina, I ended up finding out that that's not normal for a lot of places in the U.S. But we learned about all the different tribes across the nation, and I think the following year I ended up finding out that my family is part of the Cherokee, is registered with the Cherokee
Okay.
reservation in Oklahoma.
Mm.
So we used to go to
Oh, okay.
we would go
So
to powwows, and that was so much fun.
I did one and got scared and never went again. I went with my dad. He was fully dressed, right? So for
Really?
me, that was a culture shock to see my father not dress in I don't know what the proper
Plain
word for
clothes.
it. Yeah, in
Yeah.
holiday
Modern
clothes.
clothes, yeah.
Modern
And
clothes,
and it,
plain
it
clothes.
was
Yeah.
at night, and he was singing, and he had that drum, and that was that large fire, and I got out and kind of saw him and wasn't shocked because I didn't know, I didn't recognize him, so I was kind of in culture shock, and my mother was telling me it's your father, it's okay, but no, it's, and then you get, I became a teenager and wanted to hang out with my friends and stuff like that, so I moved on from there. So but yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff.
It's awesome.
It it is interesting. I also found out that my dad's real into history, and his family, I think he's the second or third generation, but they come from Mexico, like a
Oh,
tribe
okay.
in Mexico, and he there was a lost city that was near, I want to say Machu Picchu, I think it was. But he was like, this lost city where is where our tribe originated before we went to like farther up in Mexico before we went to Texas. I was like, oh well, that's interesting.
Yeah, very cool.
That is pretty cool. So, um, anything you wanted to bring up? I mean, if you had a bit of, we have still have a bit of time. If you had anything you wanted to say, or um, I think Austin is still working on our get together for the Ottawa region. I would love one day to be able to kind of get an hotel that's central, which will never happen because, how are you central to South Korea
Yeah,
and
good luck. Yeah.
Belgium and in Canada and the States? But it would be nice to find a spot where everybody, kind of a convention. I understand we're only 44 player, but it would be nice to all meet up, and have little workshops or even, do board games and stuff
Hmm.
like that all together and learn to know each other, face to face. I think that that's something that would link people together a lot more and make it very interesting.
That'd be a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
agree.
fun.
So from what we were saying, we're all family. We all have kids and families, but it doesn't stop either people that don't have families to not play. That's not the goal tonight. It's just I wanted to underline the parents
Hmm.
and the moms here tonight. Um, so Michelle, how many kids do you have? Two,
And
right?
just one,
Just one,
just
just
one.
one.
Yeah.
Sarah has one, so you're good. Uh, I was a bit more, courageous, and I had three. I don't know why, but that's it. And
You
Casey,
call
you
it
have
you
two.
call it courageous. We call it crazy. I mean, you
Yeah,
gotta do what you
I
gotta
didn't
do.
know if I could say that,
Ah, no,
I'm
you're. I'll
crazy, and
say
my
it. You
wife
know me.
watches the
I'm gonna cross
podcast.
the line.
And by the way, I need to name her. So my wife is Julie. She's playing the game too, but she wanted to say that she supports and encourage any mother to play the game. She understand that with your careers and family, it's a lot and it's demanding, but she also finds it's me time, and she gets a little bonus. It's me time with the husband, so at least she's with me.
Hmm.
Not that I think it's a bonus for her, but I think it's me time for her to be able to plan. So I encourage anyone that watches this that is a parent or a mother or a father and things that, it's too much. It is really 15 to 30 minutes a week. Then your planning session can be as much as you want. You're alone on that, but yeah, it's doable. It happens.
I wanted to say, speaking of spouses playing this, I convinced my partner to play next year because I think he'll play it
Nice.
because he
Nice.
plays Civ
Perfect.
all the time, and I'm like, Jacob, this is right up your alley. Like, as detailed as you are and as well as you know a lot of the history and the cultures and stuff, like, you need to play this. And he's like, all right, I'll give it a try next year. So I'm so excited. It's too far away, but I'm excited he's gonna play next
Hey,
year.
it goes fast. The first thing you'll know, we'll start a new session, right? It's
Right?
always like that. So,
Get
um,
ready for the psychological warfare, Michelle. It's fun.
yeah, we were speaking about it. I like that. I like that. Yes, Sarah,
Yeah, at
you
the
could
end of
actually.
every turn, it's, hey, did Bruno call you? Did Bruno call you? No.
That's brutal.
Yeah, exactly. Michelle, you should write to Sarah next year and ask her for a few tips. Really keep him anxious the whole process, make
Right.
sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get it. So, a question, since your partner may actually play, would you find it hard to kill your partner in the game?
We jumped over that hurdle. We met playing Magic the Gathering,
Oh,
and
nice.
Oh, okay.
I would say for the first 3 4 months we were together, we never attacked each other. Like we would never, unless it was something that was like, oh, this hits the whole board. Sorry, and people would get so mad. We had a large play group at the time, and we would play Treachery, which is like Kingmaker if you've ever played.
Hmm.
So it's a hit and roll game added to Magic the Gathering, and even even if he was supposed to be on the opposite sides of each other, we still wouldn't attack each other, and people would get so mad. And so, um, I forgot what it was one day, but we ended up getting over that hurdle. I think he made me mad, and I was like, "Fine, I'm swinging at you,"
The
and
honeymoon
that was
phase
it.
is over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That was the end period. That's funny. What about you, Sarah? How comfortable are
Uh,
you killing Boston?
so
She
so
sounds
I
excited.
told you I was like, oh, like I'd be fine killing him, but if he were to kill me, I'd be so mad. And you're like, Sarah, you can't have it both ways.
I think
But
that's how my wife would feel about it as well. She'd be like,
Right.
Yeah.
if she caught me, it would be totally fair game. But if I caught her, oh
Mhm.
man, I would not hear the end of it. That's for sure. And I respect
Yeah.
her for that. She
And
sticks to
and
her
we
stuff.
understand it. It's the
Yeah,
same
and
thing.
say,
We have a
I'm the
mother.
mother of your child, and you killed me.
That's the worst card. Like, come
Wow.
on.
Yes, Sarah
Jeez.
going out.
Goes for
That's
the
funny.
throat.
Psychological warfare.
It's okay. A game. My wife realized she was right beside my son, and she could not kill her son. So she made an alliance with Francis and paid him to kill her son.
I think that's
So,
worse. I think that's way
so
worse.
he killed him, and then she paid him for doing it because she couldn't have. She said, I can't kill him. He's my son. He can kill me. It's okay. I'll lose, and that's fine. But I can't. And then Francis just came around and said, I'll kill him.
He's
Said,
gone.
all right, a
Yeah.
million LB. There you go. So I can
That's
understand that
hilarious.
relationship. Yeah,
Wow.
it's funny. But
That's
so far,
cutthroat.
you didn't have to, Sarah.
Nope,
It
not
may
yet.
get to that
She
point.
didn't get to.
So I'm
She didn't
It
get
may.
to. There's a difference.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Once we get there, we'll see
Hmm.
how that's going to be played and rolled. I don't think Austin would feel bad, but I think he would go through with it. I think he would feel comfortable with it.
Oh, he's
You know,
Oh,
downstairs.
if there's
He
he's
was
okay.
close, but he's downstairs now.
Oh, okay. All
I would have asked
right. You should have
him.
asked him. So that being said, that's all the time. We're getting to the end. Thank you again, ladies, for being here. It was awesome, great conversation. And like I said, the goal is to bring players on, and you were amazing. And thank you for encouraging the game. I see. Oh, there you go. Casey just tag Austin to bring him in. That's funny. So Um, but yes, and thank you for sharing that. You know, being parents and playing Emperor is a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all. And I had Echo Vanessa, for those who knows her, that's been playing for a few years, is in remission of her cancer. She beat cancer,
Yay.
so she
Good
is
job.
planning on coming back next year. So we were very, and for those who knows her, she is from Sweden. So it was the escape for her to talk to me and having a bit of me time. So if you listening to this, Vanessa, I'm really excited for you. Good job, and
Congratulations.
looking forward to seeing you next year. And for next week, the podcast, we will be touching base for players that may be no longer in the game but still wants to come over and talk about their experience. Michelle, you were here this week, so we'll try to get other player. Or I was thinking of maybe we have three player for Belgium. For us, it might be a bit earlier for accommodation wise, but having Tom, Brian, and Kevin to come over from Belgium and talk to us about how they see Emperor
Sure.
and how they play it. And poor Kevin is out, so shout
Right.
out to Kevin. You did great with Constantinople. You did great. You had an amazing experience. You never went that far, so I'm really excited for him.
He's got lots of
hope
time
he
to
listens.
to hop on the podcast, and he's got no reason not to
exactly.
help out.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, when they do turns with me, we do them early, like at 5:30,
Oh
and
wow,
it's
okay,
like 12 midnight,
right,
11:30
of course.
midnight in their time. So, you know, if I'm running late, I'm trying to give them a heads up, and
Hmm.
but it's later for them, which is kind of special.
Oh, very cool.
So, on that, again, thank you, ladies. Thank you,
Yeah,
Casey. It's always fun to
thanks for
see you.
having us, Bruno. Thanks for
Yeah, thank
highlighting
you.
parents and moms, and yeah,
Yes,
appreciated.
Yeah,
greatly
you're
appreciated.
awesome.
Thank
I just
you.
wanted to say that. And Casey, I will see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a
All right.
wonderful evening.
Thanks, you too. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Again.
Bye bye.
And we are no longer live. Good.
All right. I like how they hanged up thinking.
No, that's why I was like, oh shit, their cameras are gone. I better fucking
Yeah.
go.